Hi guys, I'm Liz. If you're new here, then welcome to my channel. And if you are a regular, then welcome back. Today's video is going to be a book tag video that I recently stumbled across. Well, actually, I stumbled across Jack's video that said something about bring book tags back to Booktube, and I totally agree. It was so much fun to make. So I researched which book tags video ideas that are out there, and they're quite a lot. So today I'm going to be making the book recommendations tag, and I saw this from Bookhaul's, her account, and thought she did an absolutely wonderful job and wanted to do the tag myself. So here we are. The first question is a book you tell people is your favorite, and that is such a difficult question because I'm a mood reader. I figured out I'm not good at following a TBR list, not strictly anyways, and if it's a book series that's really good, I'm bashing through it. Nothing can make me read anything else. I need to know everything, and then I usually need a couple of days to recoup. I'm currently doing that. Yeah, but a favorite that I tell, not that it's my favorite, but I tell is a favorite. That's a funny wording, isn't it? My favorites tend to change. Currently, I think my favorite book. No, that's not my favorite book. Oh, how did I forget that one? It's because I'm so fantasy oriented. No, my absolutely favorite book of all time is Stoner by John Williams. It's this historical fiction book that evolves around Stoner. We follow him around throughout his life, from growing up in a farm and him doing some social climbing and becoming a English professor instead. And I probably should say that it takes place in like late 1800s and early 1900s. It's just blown my mind because it doesn't have like an exciting plot. There aren't that much drama. It's quite calm and serene, and I mean, don't get me wrong, there are some conflicts that Stoner has to go through and figure out, absolutely, but it's just such a beautiful story about a simple man and a simple life, and it's really beautiful written in a way that I can't tell you really why. It's my absolute favourite and I recommend it to everyone. I wish I could read it again for the first time. That was a really good book. Second question is a book that is your guilty pleasure. I don't know, have I got anything guilty? I'm not really ashamed of what I'm reading, and I'm just trying to look at my bookshelf through my phone in the background. My guilty pleasure, I think maybe it's gonna be Fourth Wing and Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros, and I think it's because it's such a hyped book that you either love or hate. And I don't know about you guys, but if something's really popular, do you have a little bit of difficulty with, you liking it as well, like wanting to be special and all that? And I come from a cultural background where there's a bit of musical and literature snobbery. And here I am just munching down on a lot of romantasy and, well, fantasy. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with it, don't get me wrong, because I absolutely love these books. But I do think that because of my education in music, and I have a lot of classical background, contemporary music background as well, but there's just something about Fourth Wing and Iron Flame that I have guilty pleasure in. I don't think I can be more specific as to why, but I love it. I love the books, and I cannot wait for the third one to come out. I'm not sure which is worse, not knowing the date or knowing the date and then it's going to be too far in the future. But I think that's going to be my guilty pleasure. Third question is a book that everyone loved but you didn't, and it's going to be, you guys know it, Before the Coffee Gets Cold. Absolutely horrible, and I'm not going to get myself started into another rant because I'm still angry as with that book. I'm just gonna link the video up here and you can see me rant and have a laugh about it. If it's your cup of tea, no pun, non-pun intended, then good for you. I'm not saying people shouldn't be reading it, because what people like, people like. I just don't like it. I really do not like it. Fourth question, a book you read the fastest. A book I read the fastest? Maybe The Midnight Library, actually. I think that was the book that I read the fastest. I am a fast reader, but not to an extent like to any other booktuber out there. I don't remember who said it, which video I saw, but it was another booktuber, one of the big ones, and she was like, "Oh, it's such a fast read. I just read 80 pages in 40 minutes," and I was like, "That's a lot. That's like a lot." That's so many pages, and I'm not that fast a reader, but yeah, but it was just compelling, and I'm back to the book, by the way. It was such a compelling book and a beautiful story, and it's by Matt Haig, The Midnight Library by Matt Haig, and it's just gorgeous. Fifth question, a book that deserves more hype, and I think I'm gonna be saying Stoner again. That's not the fun answer, but that's the true answer. It deserves so much more hype. Yeah, I really love that book. If I have to choose another book, I think it's gonna be going to Goodreads, because I can't remember what I read. I think I've mentioned this before though, but I think it's gonna be The 100-Year-Old Who Climbed Out the Window and Disappeared by Jonas Jonasson. It's a Swedish book. It did have its time a few years back, but it's just such a good book, and it's absolutely hilarious, and it's so Scandinavian and light-hearted and funny and heartwarming, and it's just got so much dry Scandinavian humour, and I absolutely love it. It definitely needs more hype, I think. So we follow the protagonist in this book. I think his name's Alan, I can't really remember now, but well, he's in a home, and she has just turned 100, and that's exactly what the title says. He climbs out the window and disappears, and he gets into all sorts of trouble, and we sort of follow him on this journey, reconnecting with his old self, I think maybe is the best way to describe it. And then we have another storyline where we follow him from when he was young and all of the trouble that he gets through, and as it has to be with books, he's just involved in everything, and he's got a little bit of touch and influence on absolutely every historical event that has happened. And it's just absolutely hilarious. So more hype to that book for sure. Sixth question is a book that is becoming a movie/TV show. And I'm terrible at these sorts of things because I don't know what book is gonna be a movie. I read the books and I love the books, and then I move on to the next book. And if I do find the movies, I don't realise it's a book until I've seen the movie or the TV series. So I don't know. I have heard rumours that A Court of Thorns and Roses are gonna be made into a movie or television series. I've also heard rumours that it might not happen anyway, but I am a huge fan of the Akata series and Sarah J. Maas in general, so I will love to see that one. Seventh question, a book you have reread the most, and it's going to be the Harry Potter series. I know J.K. Rowling is in bad standing, but those are the books that I've reread the most. I had a long period of time where I reread the entire series every single summer. I listened to them when I had a concussion, oh gosh, half a decade ago now. And I still love the books, so I have to mention them. Eighth question, a book from a genre you don't typically read. I'm gonna say it's a Danish book and it hasn't been translated, what I know of anyway. But if I translate it directly, it's called The One Who Lives Quietly by Leonora Christina Skoll. I don't know, sometimes, you know, it's difficult to switch back into Danish and then it sounds weird. It's sort of a little bit of an autobiography as well. It's fiction but has autobiography elements in them. And it's about Leonora discovering that she is gay and the difficulties that come with that. And she's been brought up in quite the conservative family, and it's especially focused on her relationship with her mother, which isn't that good. It's just a beautiful story. It's a difficult story and doesn't really have a happy ending, but as such, it really touched me. And I think we can all relate to having at least difficult times in the relationship with your parents, one way or another. So, but it's not translated, but that's the only one I can think of right now. 9th question, a book that deserves all the hype it gets. And 4th wing, I don't know why my voice went that high. But yeah, I think it deserves the hype. I don't have anything more to say. I know I've mentioned it before, but that's just a fact. 10th question, a book you usually recommend when asked to give a recommendation. And it really depends. That's such a broad question because there are so many genres, and I know if a friend of mine doesn't read fantasy or doesn't like it, then I'm not going to be recommending any fantasy books to that person. I also know if a friend asks me for advice when it comes to mystery thriller books, I'm not the best person to go to. Of course I can say what I've been reading, but that is a little bit difficult to answer, I think. 11th question, a book that has your favourite characters. I'm trying to name other books than the books I've already mentioned. I really do like Bryce and Hunt from the Crescent City series. I do feel like they are hilarious, but I'm really trying not to say any of the books from the Akita series because they are my favourite characters. So I'm gonna have to go with it, don't I? I think I do. I'm sorry if this is boring, but they are just so much fun. They're so much fun. Reese is, you know, he's a good looking guy and he knows it, and everything just radiates that. Feyre is just, you know, she's actually not my favourite character. I don't have that much to say about her. Cassian is just such a flirt. Asriel is mysterious and probably every girl's project. And Amran is just intriguing because she's so goddamn old and you do not want to be crossing her. Yeah, I just love the characters. So 12th question, a book you wish you could live in. And that is a difficult question because the books that I'm reading, yeah, they've got an intriguing world and most of them have magic in them and beauty, but it's also raw and dangerous as and I know the world I don't want to live in. I'm currently reading The Cruel Prince. I don't want to live there. They are freaky creatures. I think Holly Black has mentioned like 2 times at least where fairies have their feet turned backwards and then they're walking, and it's just nope. And everyone is green or blue or pink, and that's nope. Don't want to be living in that. They are the original fairies. Oh gosh, nope. 13th question, a book you thought you might hate but ended up loving. And loving is a big word. I don't know why I keep looking back at my bookshelf because one, isn't that many books. There aren't that many books on my shelf. 2, there are quite a lot non-fiction books on my shelf as well. And 3, these are not all of the books that I have ever read/owned. Like, they're just not up there, and then my memory's terrible. So, but I'm gonna look anyway because apparently it helped me. What was the question? Oh yeah, I did think I was gonna hate Fourth Wing. I'm sorry to be mentioning it so many times, but that's a fact. I can do sort of the opposite as well. A book I thought I loved, but I ended up hating, and that's gonna be A Dawn of Onyx by Kate Golden. And I did not like it. I had a reading vlog about that. I can link up here. Did not like it. 14th question. A book that made you cry. I cry a lot. Like, books do make me cry a lot. I think there are fewer books that I haven't cried to than I have cried to. I actually did not cry reading The Cruel Prince, so that's actually rare. I think the last one I cried to, like, really.
I'm not going to be saying Fourth Wing again.
So, I'm going to be saying the first book of the Crescent City series by Sarah J. Maas. And if you haven't read it, then skip ahead, because there's going to be a little bit of a spoiler. So I think the scene that I cried to, like I literally bawled my eyes out, was where Bryce has made the drop, or is currently doing the drop. I can't remember why, but she doesn't have a tether, a lifeline to bring her back. She's doing the drop solo, which is unheard of. While she is in her own universe of the drop, her body is still in the physical realm or whatever. And Hunt, of course, finds her and is desperate, especially when he finds out what it is that she's been doing. I can't remember exactly how they do it, but he's giving a heart massage to her to keep her heart beating. I don't remember how, but she sort of told him that she loves him, but not to his face, and he's just trying to keep her alive to make it through the drop. And he says something like, "Come back and tell me that you love me to my face, you coward," or something like that. That was such an emotional scene, and I really liked it. And I remember crying so much I had to take breaks, but I couldn't take that long breaks because I was so excited to read. I had to know what would happen. I didn't think that she would actually not make it. I just had to know, and I just kept on trying to read, but I could barely see the words, so it was just all blurry because I kept on crying and tried not to blink that much. I wouldn't stain the the pages and stuff. It was hilarious. 15th question, and there are not 15 fingers on my one hand, but 15th question. It's a book you wish you could read for the first time. It is Harry Potter. I loved being a child and reading Harry Potter and waiting for the books to come out and dreaming that an owl would come and fetch me and all that. It's such a cliche thing to say, but it's absolutely true. That would be so much fun. And I remember talking to my mum on the balcony about what had happened in the books, and I think I almost narrated them like one-to-one to her. She was told absolutely everything, and I talked a lot about that book. It was so much fun. So much fun. Alright, so that was my book recommendation tag, and I know I repeated a few books, but I do have my favourites, and it's going to be fun to be making this one in a year's time or something, and then try and do it in like the book recommendation tag, but for 2024 books I've read. Yeah, that was quite an idea. That just struck me. It was so much fun to make. Have you read any of the books that I've mentioned? And if you want to answer the questions yourself, then please do leave a comment below and let me know. It's always fun to hearing other people's stories about the books that have really made an impact on them. So you're more than welcome to share that in the comments below. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this, and give this video a thumbs up as well if you liked it. And until next time, happy reading. Today I'm going to be doing the book recommendation. Fifth photo. Forgot the question. My body just keeps saying weird stuff. I've said fuck a lot in this video. I think I need to say fuck less.